my son, all right? My son just recently graduated from Southern Fulton in June. He's a freshman at Penn State now. The picture right here is a picture of my parents. My dad was actually here just a few minutes ago and left. But that's my mom and dad and myself. And then this picture, this is an old picture up here, like really, really old, because it shows my grandparents and then some little tyke in a red coat. Anybody want to guess who that little tyke in the red coat is? Anybody? It's me, right. A lot of people say, well, you're a school teacher, Mr. Miller. Why in the world did you want to build a stinky pig barn? Well, it boils down to this. I'm a third-generation farmer, okay? This farm was bought by my grandparents in 1932. So somebody from my family's been on this farm since 1932. I'd like that to be that way for a long time in the future, okay? And the truth is, if I hadn't built my pig barn, we might have had to make some hard decisions about what to do with the farm, and maybe it wouldn't have been a farm at all. Maybe we'd have sold it and people would have built houses on there. Well, that's not going to help us eat. So we decided, my wife and I decided 7 years ago, that we would build this hog barn in the hopes that it would help to keep the farm moving and farming into the future. So I have a lot of different pictures up here about the process that we went through. You don't just wake up someday and decide, hey, I'm going to build a hog barn today. All right? It takes a long time. It's a long process to do that. So we actually started in 2006. In 2006, we started to talk about building a barn. It took us several months before we got permission from the local government to do that. And in March of 2007, we finally started building our barn. We picked a site. We actually took one of the fields on our farm, and we decided that's where we were going to put the barn. And then we came in and we started to do the digging. All right, you have to dig a big hole to have a hog barn on it. I'm going to call that kind of the basement. All right, and if you look at the picture down here, this one and this one, you can kind of see that once that hole was dug, there was a lot of concrete poured, and it created what I'm going to call like a basement. That basement is where all the manure is going to be stored. So if you go to my barn and you walk around it, you will not see manure outside laying around anywhere. It's underneath that barn, okay? And then the barn was built on top of that, and you kind of see in some of these pictures over here how that was done. It took approximately 4 months to build the barn. So probably from about the end of March until the end of July, we were building the barn. Now, I didn't build it myself. A company came in and built it for us. This picture right here kind of shows you what the finished barn looked like. It's a large barn. It's about 220 feet in length. That's about 2/3 the length of a football field, and it's 80 feet wide. Again, our barn holds about 2,200 pigs when it's all said and done. And then there's 4 big feed bins out in the front. They hold approximately 60 tons of feed. All right, so there's about 60 tons of feed on hand there to feed the pigs every day. The pigs have everything they need: food, water, and they also have ventilation. If you look at this one picture here, you'll see big fans in the back of the barn. And those fans actually suck air through the barn so the pigs have fresh air all the time. Yes, pigs do smell. They do stink. But those fans help to pull that smell out of the barn and give them clean air at all times. Okay? So that's just some pictures that show you our barn. We also have another little building out away from the barn. It's a compost building. From time to time, some of our pigs do die, all right? And so we take those pigs and we put them in that compost building. We pile sawdust on top of them, and in time, the pig decomposes, all right? And the pig, pretty much everything decomposes. Every now and then you'll find a bone here or there, but pretty much if you leave them in there for a period of about 3 months, a pig will pretty much decompose and there won't be anything left from that. Okay, and so we use that as a way to process those animals that eventually die. That composting material makes great fertilizer. Okay, we can use that as well. All right. That basement or that pit underneath that holds the manure, we pump that manure out and we use that on our fields. Okay, we use that as manure on the fields. That is actually a much better way to fertilize the fields than chemical fertilizer. The other option is to use chemical fertilizer made out of petroleum products, and something that's natural that comes from the pig is much better than doing that. Okay? Any questions about the barn pig?